So hello everyone. I know, it's another video of me talking to camera. God, the amount of these is getting so big I can make one of those old music videos like the one where you make Obama sing Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. But I am here for a purpose, to explain, in detail, off of this Google Docs document that I'm reading, that I had to write out, because I want it to be detailed, the Genesis series, because that just came out of nowhere. Back in 2018, I made a small Doctor Who stop-motion series with my own Doctor. This Doctor was set after Dalek Idea's 13th Doctor, played by Nathan Ward, and was created to continue on his own adventures across the universe. Similar in ways to the other OC Doctors being created at the time, like Renegade Time Lord 2000, UDWF1, the Mega Doctor 1998, and the Who Editor, who all had their own Doctors with their own adventures, and it was the time. Unfortunately, my motivation for the project was up and down at the time, and education was something I had to prioritise, so any instance of the project always went back and forth between having episodes and then being rewritten to fit something new. And then in 2020 I developed what I called the last series. This would have tied up the then Type 40 Doctor's story and allowed me to walk away to focus on other project. However, after the project was released, I drifted again, not finding any excitement in the stories I was trying to tell, and by the summer I was already involved in another project that turned my focus from stop motions to fan films. This isn't to say anything negative. I loved being in that story, and it's given me lifelong friendships I never thought I'd have, but it did mean that I began to focus more on wanting to create a new story, and that's where the Arcadian universe came from. From here on, for the next 4 years, I turned my focus to my new fan film series, featuring a new Doctor, the Burgundy Doctor, who went on its own adventures in a new universe, with new characters and a whole other timeline of Doctors. Yeah, that's a whole other video for sure. Check out the Arcadian Universe YouTube channel. Meh. So what happened? Well, last year I got an itch, something I couldn't scratch. I wanted to return and finish this story, but in a way that works for me. I couldn't do it the same way I tried last time. I had to approach this more rarely than with the Arcadian stuff. So I thought, what would be the best way to introduce this character back into the mix? Well, an experiment. Myself and my friend Ren are working on some other original projects, and I thought, what was the best way to test out if this concept/idea can work than to do something featuring an already established Doctor while reintroducing an older one. That's where The Night of Krampus came from. A story where the Doctor meets an otherworldly being known as Lord Krampus, talking to them, taunting them about their troubles before offering them some peace around the Christmas period. This was a huge undertaking, and bear in mind, I had a month's notice to get both of these out. But hey, Iris Brindell and Jed T. Rhodes were in the same boat, so I think all of our work paid off last Christmas. Don't. But yeah, the Genesis Doctor is back. Yes, that's its name going forward, along with all of that project. Not named after the Dalek story, Wrath of Khan, or Terminator, or the Sega Mega Drive. For the story going forward, I will make it as clear as I can without spoiling too much. Yes, there will be another mini-sode soon. Actually, 2. I need to work on those a bit more, but yeah. But for context, the time gap between his last appearance and Krampus was about 500 years. Yeah, the guy's been away for ages, and this will definitely be reflected in the series. I have considered and landed on calling this universe the Genesis universe, giving it its own originality, as everything revolves around that one name. But it will make sense in future stories. And yes, those are on the way. 3 specials, in fact. Only 3? Well, Arcadian is such a big project that I can't justify making a story any bigger than this. But that doesn't mean I'm going to half-ass anything. Limiting myself means I can put more effort into making these 3 the best they can be. I want to give this Doctor the ending he never truly got 5 years ago. The right kind of story that suits the person he is now because of my own mistakes. It's a story about a man knowing that he's about to die, figuring out the best way to correct his past faults, and hopefully coming out of it feeling like he accomplished all that he set out to do. So yeah guys, that's this video. Hopefully you've gotten some of the answers you were looking for there and are excited for what's to come. I really want to bring a new and interesting story to the masses, along with actually committing to finishing all I set out to do, and this year, let's make that a goal. Talk to you soon guys.